Hey Ninja! Welcome back once again to my channel, and in today's video, again, we're gonna answer another question. So if you're interested, keep watching. So our question for today is, what if the interviewer will ask me why I went on AWOL? What should I say? Or what if the interviewer will ask me why I did not give a 30-day notice or why I did not resign properly? What should I say? Now, I suppose this is a common question because a lot of call center agents jump from one company to another when they get tired, bored, or lazy with one job, or if something wrong has happened in one company that they cannot wait to start a new job in another company anymore. They just go on AWOL. And to those who are not familiar with it, if you're new, it's absence without official leave, aka MIA, missing in action, disappearing act, or you just leave without permission, without notice or anything. Nada. So that is AWOL. So should you disclose to your interviewer that you went on AWOL, or should you just hide your previous employment? My only answer is no, you should not hide your previous employment. You should disclose it if the interviewer asks you about it. Now take note, not all interviewer will ask you about your status in your previous company. Not all interviewers will ask you why did you go on AWOL. So you don't have to mention it, but if your interviewer will ask you, did you resign from this company? Did you give a 30-day notice in this company? Then you should be honest about it. Now, I know that you might be feeling scared or anxious about it because going on AWOL is never a good thing, regardless of the reason. But there are some reasons that you can justify well, because maybe personally it's harder for you to stay anymore in that company or to stay even longer in that company. If you have stayed in the company for, let's say, a year or so, then there's no way you can hide your employment from anybody because you already have the employment record. You have paid your taxes, or maybe not. You have paid your SSS, your government mandatory benefits, you have deductions. So you have a footprint in every document of your employment record. Also, you may be asked to get a certificate of employment. So, if you have already spent so much time and so many years in your previous company and then you went on AWOL, then you better be ready with a good explanation as to why you went on AWOL. So, for example, the reason is something personal, then you don't have to disclose all the details, but you have to be prepared with a good explanation as to why you decided to go on AWOL, no matter how bad it might sound. Now, it just depends on how you explain it to the interviewer. You have to prepare a convincing statement, and the goal of your answer is to let the interviewer know that you're honest with what you've gone through and what are you going to do so that will not happen anymore in their company should you get hired. Should you include that employment in your employment history in your resume? Definitely you should, because if you don't, then your interviewer will still ask you what you have been doing for that year or for those months that you were not working. If you don't include it in your resume, then I suppose you will be creating a made-up story as to why you're not in the office or you're not working for a year or so. So that's going to be flat out lying to your interviewer. And I tell you, they can do background checks as much as they want, especially about employment history. Just a short story, I know someone who is really qualified to get a job, but he tried to apply for a prestigious company. However, he was scrutinized with his employment history because there have been instances where he went on AWOL and he did not provide a 30-day notice. So he was asked about that. Of course, because you're already qualified for the job, you're really good, you're obviously skilled to do the job, they will really find a way to ask you for some, information that might be a deal breaker. And so what the interviewer found out was he did not resign properly. So he was not hired. He could not lie his way out of it because it has already been part of his employment record. Now, I can't really provide a very specific sample answer because you may have a different situation or scenario, but I imagine this is how you will answer it. I went on AWOL in my previous company because I felt like there was no more room for me to grow career-wise, and I wanted to start anew in a new job and in a new company. I chose your company because I have researched about it and I found out that your company values employees really well and the compensation and benefits are also competitive. I really look forward to working in this company, and I will make sure that I will do my best to perform and to do my task well and to never go on AWOL anymore. So if I'm given the chance in this company, I will give my 100% performance just to make sure that I will grow in my career as well. So that's like my on-the-spot answer. I did not prepare for that answer at all, but that is the direction that we're heading to. You're trying to explain why you left that company without notice and what you're willing to do to get hired in that company that you're applying to. Show your interviewer that you will never go on AWOL anymore. And if you say so yourself, then make sure you don't do it anymore as well. Now, make sure you also research about the company because, of course, in your answer you said you researched about the company. So, of course, it's understandable that you already did some reading or you've asked some of your friends from that company or whatnot. Be honest about how you feel, but, of course, be careful with how you say things because it might also be a deal breaker. It can either make or break your chance to get hired. For example, if you honestly felt lazy and tired and you hated your boss in your previous company, then obviously you will not say it that way to your interviewer. You should never badmouth your previous employer no matter how bad your experience was, because it just doesn't look right in your current company or your current interviewer. This brings me to another question that was asked from me. Is it okay to sugarcoat or should you just be honest and true to yourself? Of course, you should be honest and true to yourself. Make your words more convincing. If that's what you mean by sugarcoat, then yes. But what I mean by not lying or being careful with your words is that you don't have to disclose the details. You don't have to say you're lazy or you're tired because obviously you're not gonna get hired. But you have to get to the root cause of why you were lazy or why you were tired in that job and explain it in a positive manner so that you sound like you really want to get that job in that company. And I really hope that you do really want to get that job in that company that you're applying to. And in that note, I just want to remind you that, again, going on AWOL is never a good idea. It can definitely affect your future employments. If something is not going well in your current company now, then just resign properly. At the very least, 15 to 30 days should be acceptable. Speak with your supervisor, speak with your HR personnel, and ask what is the best way to go about your resignation. Because for some reasons, they might allow you to go on an immediate resignation. But never ever go on AWOL, or never ever not ask for permission. Don't just disappear, because that's not the professional way to do it. You wouldn't want someone to do that to you as well, like just leave you without notice. Nobody wants that, right? So there, think about it. So that's about it for this video. If you want to know more about how to answer that question, like why did you leave your previous company or your previous job, I have a separate video about that. I can link it to this card, so check it out after watching this video. Now, once again, don't forget that we have videos every Tuesdays and Fridays. Like and subscribe if you haven't yet. Hit that notification bell so you'll be notified for my new videos. Thank you so much. Take care and see you next time.